Hello. This is finally Conservation Kingdom tour. It's been way too long, and we're gonna go around as a super tall person and finally explore the zoo I've been working on. Yay! So we're coming in here, the little courtyard. Um, some food over here. But what we are gonna see, it's pretty nice in here. There's a little area, picnic area. Someone left their food right there, looks like. But now all this can be upgraded. It's phase 1 I've completed a while ago, and I just never recorded this. And the what I wanted to record, like what I want to say on here, kind of took longer for me to get than I thought. But or to plan out. So here we go. We are gonna go visit the animals. But first, I want you to know that if they're not out, we're not really going to talk about them. Sorry, if you want to see a certain animal. If they're not out on the exhibit, then they're not going to be out. So this is our little gift shop. This is definitely going to be upgraded in the future. It's not very, very, very great. But in the gift shop, there we go. We got two species of poison frogs in here, and I think I see one right here. There we go. So these are the Lehman's poison frog. Alright, so they are, these small exhibits, I'm just going to tell you some fun facts about them. But they are critically endangered. So here's some fun facts about the Lehman's poison frog. Males will look after the young. The tadpoles develop into frogs on their own after being placed inside a body of water, inside of branches, hollow trees, and bamboo stalks. They develop on their own because they are cannibalistic. Why are these two not cannibalistic? Well, because they are a breeding pair. There's only 2 of them in here. But yes, they are critically endangered due to being taken from their natural habitat. So they can be sold in the illegal pet trade, which is obviously illegal. But we're gonna go over here and check out the golden poison frog if we can find it. Oh, it's right here. So the golden poison frog. Why is it golden? Because, well, it's golden. If you know what I mean. It's right there. You can see it. But they're actually not all the same color. Here's some fun facts, though. They are one of the most toxic animals on Earth. They have enough venom to kill 10 grown people. They got their names because the indigenous people, the Embera, use their venom on tips of blowgun darts for hunting. The golden poison dart frog is their full name. And despite their name, their coloring varies from yellow, orange, and pale green. So any of those colors. And captive golden poison frogs never develop venom, and that is due because scientists think that they get their venom, which is very weird that they have venom in the first place, from the plants they eat in the wild, which is very interesting. So we are gonna zoom out of here and take a look at our first, more well-known animal, the black and white ruffed lemur, and there they are. So we got, I think I don't remember how many little babies we have. I think there's 3. But there's a male, female, and the babies. And this is our little habitat for them, so you can see them romping around while I talk about them. So, the black and white ruffed lemurs are one of the longest one of the largest lemur species and primates found on Madagascar. They are only found in eastern Madagascar, and they are highly social and live in small groups called a conspiracy. Someone's playing with the ball over here. They are most active during the day and spend most of their lives up in tree canopies. Captive ones are not always running around in the trees. Black and white ruffed lemurs are critically endangered, and there's only between 1,000 and 10,000 individuals in the wild. There is a number of threats against their existence. They are losing their habitat due to agriculture, logging, and mining. Unfortunately, the black and white ruffed lemur is most hunted of all lemur species. They are hunted for their expensive and highly favorable meat. Because of their social nature, they vocalize a lot, and because of this, hunters find them more easily than other species. Poaching can mean hunting, but it also can mean taking an animal from the wild and holding it captive. This species can be found in the illegal pet trade. And lastly, climate change has played a role in their population decline because of the effect of the rainforest they live in. On the rainforest they live in. If environmental conditions are not met, female lemurs will not give birth, in turn slowing population growth. The black and white ruffed lemurs are pollinators. They are the main dispersers of seeds of traveler palm trees. By eating the nectar from the tree's flowers, pollen will stick to their fur, and in turn they spread the pollen to other trees. Just like all animals, they need to poop. They eat a lot of seeds, and when they poop, they help disperse the seeds they eat onto the ground, which helps the forest grow. They keep Madagascar biodiverse, and they attract ecotourism, which helps support and bring money to the region's economy. So some fun facts. Oh, look, we got a repairman in the exhibit now. Some fun facts about these guys are they are frugivores, which means they only eat meat. Or fruit. I don't know why I said meat. They only eat fruit. They are possibly one of the only primates to build nests. Where's their nests in here? Well, it's back there. In their little cave over there. They have an indoor area, so they're not always outside. They're the world's largest pollinators. They eat nectar of flowers. Pollen will get stuck to their fur, and they spread it as they travel. So we've already knew that. But the largest pollinators, their calls can be heard through the rainforest up to a half-mile away. That's pretty loud and easy for hunters to find them also. They live 15 to 20 years in the wild, but can live over 30 years in captivity. And their population has declined over around 80% in the last 30 years. So that is the black and white ruffed lemur. They do not swim, which is why this moat is here. And it's obviously an open habitat. You could jump in if you wanted to, but you gotta be... I mean, that's a bad idea. You'll get thrown out of the zoo. So we're gonna come over here. What we get to see next? The pangolin. Let's see if they are out. If they are not out, I'm just gonna say some fun facts about them. But this is the female habitat. I do not see her. She must be in her underground cave area. And we're coming over here through the people at the kid's height. This is the male's habitat. It's a little bit smaller. And it also looks like he's in the den. Underground den. That's unfortunate if you wanted to see a Chinese pangolin. But here are some fun facts about pangolins. Pangolins are the most trafficked mammal in the world. One individual pangolin can eat, up to 70 million insects in a year. That is a termite mound right here, a man-made one. 20,000 ants in a day that they can eat. Their name is from... Sorry, let's just focus on the zookeeper walking around and trying to fix stuff. Their name is of Malayan origin and comes from the word panguling, which means one who rolls up. Their scales are made up of keratin, which is similar to human fingernails and hair. 20% of their body weight comes from their scales and will roll themselves into a ball to protect themselves. Pangolins have no teeth. They will eat rocks to help them digest food. Imagine doing that. And lastly, they are guardians of the forest. They protect the forest they live in from termites, which will tear the forest down if they don't. So be careful. Beware of bears. We are heading to Bear Mountain. Staff only. That's Bear Mountain. Sometimes you can see a bear on top of there. And here's the little bear cave. And where are we now? We are in the Asian Highlands. Here is the Asian Highlands. Wow, nice hat. And before we get to the real bears, we're going to come over here. And there is our red panda. Small little area. They also do not swim. Oh, we saw the panda for a second. There's one escaping. Just kidding. It's a statue. But here is the red panda. Where did it go? There it is. Red pandas are mostly from the eastern Himalayas. They are mostly herbivores and primarily eat bamboo. They are endangered, and there is less than 10,000 in the wild. Deforestation is causing them to lose areas to nest in trees and their main food source, which is bamboo. They are killed a lot of time by accident by getting caught in traps meant for animals like wild pigs and deer. They are poached illegally for their pelts. Some environmental importance is they balance their ecosystem because they control the bamboo populations, just like another panda we're going to go see, and are also a food source for predators. They attract ecotourism to their homelands, and they are important to the culture of local human populations. Where did he go? It is a male. You have a male here. And he lives alone. They are solitary. Some fun facts. They are slightly larger than a domestic cat, so pretty small. They are not related to the giant panda, which we'll hopefully see in a little bit. And, in fact, they are more closely related to raccoons. They have long, thick tails which help them balance when climbing and cover themselves for warmth. They live in Asia, in the highlands of Asia, so it gets pretty cold where they live. So, we're going to head over to its Himalayan cousin, not really, but I guess neighbor, Himalayan neighbor, the Himalayan brown bear. This is the female habitat, and there is a cub in here. See if we can find them. Oh, there's the cub right here. Let's get down here as the cub goes back into the den. There's a zookeeper, but we'll keep it here. Hopefully they'll come right here and play with this toy. This is their little habitat. Let's get this feeder in here too. So if they decide to come out again. We just saw them, so we're just going to say some fun facts, but we saw the cub for a second at least. So the males, well, let's go over. We have the male habitat's right here. If he's not out, then that stinks, but it doesn't look like anyone's watching over here, unless he's just not very popular. But this is the male's habitat. Let's run a little bit. There he is, there's the male. Just kidding. It doesn't look like he's probably sleeping too. So let's just go back over quickly. and see if they come back out. And there's the cub. Alright, Himalayan brown bear. There comes the cub. Himalayan brown bear is a large bear native to the northwest of the central regions of the Himalayas. These bears live in high altitudes in valleys and pastures in the fall, but live near the snow line during the summer. They like it cold. They are omnivores and mostly prefer to eat grass, roots, bulbs, and other plants, but will also eat insects and small mammals. During the fall, they eat fruit and berries. They are opportunistic hunters and will kill sheep and goats if available, and also scavenge carcasses to eat carrion. They are solitary and are active during the daytime. They are hibernators and hibernate starting around October, emerging from their dens in a cave or dug out of the ground between April and May. They are critically endangered due to habitat loss, being hunted as pests, and poached illegally for their fur. There's under 2,000 in the wild. Not sure where the mama bear is. Cub is just doing whatever it wants. So these guys are important because they disperse seeds of the fruits and berries they eat through their poop, just like the lemurs. Because they are also considered predators, they help keep animal populations like deer and elk under control. By scavenging for carrion, they help nutrients spread into the environment. And they are keystone species in their ecosystems and indicate the health and management of their ecosystems. Males can weigh up to 880 pounds. They are the least arboreal of all bear species. They can live 20 to 30 years in the wild. And lastly, some believe the famous cryptid creature, the Yeti, which lives in the Himalayan mountains, can be attributed to the misidentification of the Himalayan brown bear. So this is, if you've never seen a Yeti, this is a Yeti. Right there, that small little fur ball running around. That is what a Yeti looks like. People are laughing at it. And me for that joke. So we're going to head over. Let's see if the males came out yet. Nope, don't see them. That stinks. So, just going to keep heading on to our last Asian Highlands exhibit, which is the giant panda, most famous of these animals that we have on display in this area of the zoo. We have a male here. He is solitary. They are solitary. And of course, he is also sleeping somewhere. So hopefully he'll come out. And if he does, we'll see him. But for now, we'll just say some fun facts about giant pandas. And we'll see at least 3 or 4 giant pandas in a second. And I'll show you why. Giant pandas need to eat 26 to 84 pounds of bamboo a day. It's weird because bears don't eat bamboo except for pandas. They are unique. Their wrist bones functions and are used as opposable thumbs. So they have 4 digits, 4 claws, but their wrist bone sticks out like a thumb. It is not movable. But their wrists are flexible, so they can grab things like a hand by, I guess, flexing down their paws and using their wrist bone as their thumb. Newborn pandas are 1/900th the size of their mothers. That is extremely small. Extremely small. That is like being born like as the size of a quarter or something. That's impressive. So here you go. These are the pandas I was talking about. Just a little nice statue here. But here we go. Right next to the pandas, we have the Panda Cafe. It's ducks, so we don't... It is hopping in here today. Wow, look at all the people sitting and eating. Wow, it's busy in here. So this is a nice little cafe if you get hungry. You can eat outside, but these people are looking at something in the bush over there. And speaking of bush, we're going to head through the bushes to the Roars of Russia. But as we get closer to the Roars of Russia, and people are looking at our first habitat right there, we're going to stop and take a look at this nasty looking Siberian oriole rig. See some stuff spraying out, oil spraying out there. This is a oil rig from Siberia. Not actually, but I made it, and the closest I could get it to. And why is this here? Well, to show that oil and a lot of things we do as humans are not very healthy for the environment. As you can see by this nasty water, you wouldn't want to drink that. We destroy the environment, and this is one of the biggest ways we do it. And this is also one of the biggest ways that these two species of animals, in the future 3, but that will come soon, are impacted by humans. Here's a nice little spot to take a picture if you wanted to. But first, before taking the nice picture with your family and friends, we're going to hopefully see our first animal, the snow leopard. I do not see him. These people are waiting for him. This is a snow leopard habitat. I think in the future videos I am going to take the guests out because they're making this lag a little bit. But here we go. Fun facts about the snow leopard is new research shows they are the closest relative to tigers, unlike otherwise thought that it was the lions. That is very interesting. It's why do you think that may be? Well, it's because they live in the same area. We'll go see a tiger after this. And there are lions in Asia where tigers live, but they are not, there's not very many. Snow leopards are known as the ghost of the mountains. They can jump 6 times their body length, and 70% of snow leopard habitat is unexplored by humans. That is like the ocean. So that is pretty cool. I don't see the snow leopard, but yeah, they can jump pretty high. So we have these things all around the exhibit. I am in the exhibit right now, I know. Just so they don't jump out. That's hot wire. He knows not to jump through that. And we have other stuff around so he doesn't decide to take any chances and go explore whatever's outside of his habitat. They used to be endangered, but they are vulnerable. But here is my favorite animal. And specifically, the Siberian tiger. We also have a male here. He's solitary. I really hope he comes out. This is the tiger's habitat. Well, he might be sleeping. But he has a nice little habitat. That's pool for him here. He can stay hidden pretty well, so I was wondering if he's back here maybe too. But hopefully he comes out, because this is my favorite animal. So the Siberian, or also called the Amur tiger, which they live in Siberia or Russia. So, some fun facts about tigers. There are 9 subspecies of tiger, but 3 have become extinct in the last 150 years. Tiger's stripes are unique to that individual tiger. No 2 patterns are the same. Tigers can eat up to 60 pounds in one sitting. They are carnivores, they eat meat. And in comparison to the tigers in the wild, the population in the wild, there are more captive tigers than in the wild. In fact, there are more captive tigers just in the United States than the entire wild population of tiger, including the 6 extant, which means alive, subspecies. And so I really hoped for the tiger to come out, and we are going to be daredevils, and we're going to jump into the tiger enclosure and run through the enclosure because I really want to see a tiger. And he's coming out. Okay, let's run away, run away, run away, run away. Here he comes. Jump. Okay, we made it. Don't get stuck in the bushes. But here comes the tiger. Sorry, I wanted to see the tiger. It's my favorite animal. I think he's coming out. He was. These people might see him right here. There he is, everybody. Fun fact also, tigers, the Siberian tiger is the biggest cat in the world. Yes, they are the true king of the jungle. They live in the taiga forests. And tigers live in forests. They are the true kings of the jungle. But I guess you could say the lion is because the Asiatic lion, which is, or the Amur lion, the Asian lion, also lives in Asia in the jungle. There's not very many. And tigers are the king because they're the biggest ones, right? So that's how well hidden he can be. He is probably staying out of the rain. But, oh, if you're hungry, you can take a break. Pause the video if you want, because there's a food court ahead. And I think it's pretty good looking food court to me. I'd want to stop here. Look at these nice flowers here. Possibly a restroom. I mean, I think this is pretty nice. In the future, I actually have plans that this will become uninhabited by humans and inhabited by some species of animals. That will be pretty cool, honestly, to me. So my plan is to turn this into an animal habitat. But we'll get more information on that hopefully soon in the future. But before we get to our next area, we got a nice little pond with some facts about environmental issues on these billboards, which you'll see around the zoo. And there's just a nice little pond where some animals are living. Not real animals, obviously. You got the dodo bird over here. I think there was another one. A big deer. A giant deer, really. A monkey up there. Some hippos in there. A hippo spitting up some water. That wolf is looking to attack that deer right there. Another deer. What's he looking at? The elephants? But no, I think he's looking at the bear over here. Good stop for a picture. But wait, what's behind us? It smells like animal. Yeah, and that's right, because there is an animal behind us. It is the bongo. Obviously, it is a type of a deer, a hoofstock animal. The bongo is the largest and heaviest antelope of the forests of Africa. Bongos can weigh up to 900 pounds. They have large ears that can make them great listeners. Their coats help individuals identify one another. Let's get a good view of him. Bongos are herbivores. And eat leaves, bushes, vines, bark, roots, cereals. Oh, he's taking a dump. Let's look. Shrubs, flowers, and fruits. Males, which we have here, live solitary, but females may live in small groups. 20% of their population has been lost in the last 3 human generations. Bongos are threatened by hunting and deforestation. Why are they important? Bongos help keep vegetation from becoming overgrown in the forest they live. And some fun facts. Females are more brightly colored than the males. Males and the females have horns. There are 2 subspecies of bongo, mountain or the eastern bongo and the lowland or western bongo. At night, bongos seek out natural salt licks, which they need to eat. Every living animal needs some salt in them to stay alive. And female bongos will use the same area to birth their calves over and over again. So that's some fun facts, and the rain stopped. And we are going to move on. First, before we get to the reptile house, we're going to go behind the reptile house. And look for our first and reptilian animal, which she is not out, it looks like. So we're going to move on and see her inside. But I will assure you, these guys will be out. And girls, because there's a lot of them. They are part of our breeding program to reintroduce into the wild, and that's it right there. We got, oh, here's the big guy right here, the gharial. That is our big male. He is ginormous compared to the little ones and females. So let's see some facts about the gharial. Gharials are mostly an aquatic species of crocodile, only leaving the water to sunbathe or to nest. You can hear them chirping, the little ones. Males can grow up to 20 feet long and females up to 15 feet long. Today they live only in the rivers of Nepal and northern India, but once roamed 5 other countries as well as all of India. They are carnivores and eat mostly fish. There's a female right here. Oh, that's a baby. It's a big baby though. But small and juvenile gharials will eat insects, crustaceans, and frogs. So let's keep them away from our poison frogs. They are critically endangered due to only human-created issues. Specifically, we are taking over their natural habitat to build dams and divert their waterways. We are fishing their food sources, and we are also hunting them. Mostly males are hunted because their garas are used in medicine, but gharial eggs are also collected. If you're wondering what a gara is, it is this bulbous little thing on top of the male's head, or on top of the nose of the males. It's called a gara. Only the males have them. Fortunately, their decline was noticed in the 70s, and the Indian government created full protections of the species. Also, breeding and reintroduction programs like the one we have at my zoo were developed to help repopulate the gharial in its natural habitat, but unfortunately, 58% of their population has declined, even with these efforts. So these guys really need help. You can see the size difference between the male and the females here. A male and a female. And from this distance, he doesn't even look half the size, especially underwater. Why are the gharial important? Gharials help the nutrient cycle by bringing nutrients from the bottom of the rivers to the surface. As a top predator, you may think they have the opposite effect of this fact, but gharial populations have actually been shown to increase the population of fish that also live with them. They help maintain the balance of their ecosystem. And some fun facts. Only males have the big growth on the front of their nose called gara, which they use to attract a mate, partially protect their nostrils, and also vocalize. In the 1970s, the gharial almost went totally extinct, and gharials lay the biggest egg of all crocodilians. So that's a full-size female right there. And if you're wondering why are their noses so small and skinny, it's because they eat fish. Have evolved to be excellent fishers. Looking through, I'm trying to get a sneak peek at something coming up, but we are going to go over here to the entrance of our reptile house. Now that is a sneak peek of something else that's coming. But let's come inside. If you want to see the whole thing, here you go. Also check out my Instagram. Look we got the gharials in here. There's a female with a lot of the little ones. Eating some fish. Pretty cool. But here in the reptile house, we are first gonna take a look and try to find the very unknown creature called the axolotl. What you might think, what the heck is an axolotl? You're probably wondering. It's this thing right here. It looks like a salamander. Oh, here's one right here. Obviously, they're very small. I didn't expect to actually find one that easily. I thought when I was going around before making sure everything in the zoo was good, I had a really hard time finding them. So yeah, they move around and stuff. Not very often, but they do. The axolotl is a strange species of salamander. They are strange because they never lose their juvenile characteristics, including their external gills, their tails, a particular fin, and they don't have the ability to move their eyelids. Imagine just not being able to blink. They also remain aquatic their whole lives. They live in 2 lakes in Mexico. That's it, just 2. That's why they're so unknown. If I say these wrong, I'm sorry, but they live in Lake Xochimilco and Lake Chalco. Other than this, not much is known about this species, and it is hard to learn more about their natural behaviors because it is rare to see them in the wild. What we do know is that they can shift their color to become brighter to help them with camouflage, a lot like a chameleon. Axolotls can also regenerate their limbs, lungs, heart, jaws, spine, and some parts of their brain. They are also said to be 1,000 times more resistant to cancer. What we want to know about them is why these facts are true about them, because that will be very important for humans to know. Because, we should want to know how to not be affected by cancer, right? Yes. That's why knowing about these animals and studying them are also important than just conserving them. Now, who is this little guy? Well, not very little, because he's pretty big. But this is, hold on, the Lesser Antillean iguana. looking for bugs, I think. There's, 2, I think, in here. I just see the one, obviously. So here he is. Or she, not sure. The lesser Antillean iguana spends most of its time in the trees. 75% of their population has been lost due to deforestation, hunting, and invasive species. They are also becoming outcompeted by the green iguana. They live in South America and starting to make their way up to North America. And the green iguana, which is invasive, are taking them out and competing for their resources. We're going to move over and see our little Komodo dragon. She's a female. And obviously she's inside because we didn't see her outside. So here she is. Komodo dragons are a true dragon and possibly an actual animal behind some myths of living dragons. They are carnivores and have large, curved, and serrated teeth which help them bite off chunks of meat to swallow without chewing. In the wild, adults have an average weight of around 145 pounds, with the largest individual verified to be 366 pounds. Komodos are found in Indonesia in the Sunda Islands. On these islands, they will eat small mammals to large mammals, including rodents to water buffalo. Yes, imagine the size of a water buffalo compared to this little girl right here. They eat those. They are endangered due to habitat loss, poaching, human encroachment, and the illegal pet trade, also human conflict. They are apex predators. They are scavengers, and scavenging helps them prevent and spread the diseases in their ecosystem. They generate ecotourism, and Komodos are not affected by their own bacteria and venom. Scientists are trying to figure out why and how. They can maybe create some anti-venom. And yes, they are venomous. So some fun facts. Komodos are the largest and heaviest lizards in the world. They are in a small group of lizards that have a venomous bite. Adult Komodos can eat up to 80% of their body weight. Their lifespan is unknown, but it is thought that it can live up to 30 years in the wild. Komodos have great eyesight and can spot moving targets close to 1,000 feet away. Komodo can smell a carcass up to 2.5 miles away. Their venom prevents blood clotting in victims of their bite, resulting in massive amounts of blood loss, eventually leading to shock, which is how they kill their prey. They can run up to 13 miles an hour, which is, I'd say, probably an average human running speed. So you can't really outrun them. When they are threatened, they can throw up some of the contents of their stomach. Let that sink in. So they can run away faster. So they are pretty impressive animals that can do all these crazy things. Now, if you're from America, you might have seen one of these before. This is the Gila monster. And correctly pronounced the Gila monster. It is spelled Gila. There are many myths about this not-so-scary creature. Gila monsters have a very negative reputation. This monster is said to scare people on purpose, spit venom, jump several feet into the air to attack, sting with its tongue, and lastly, it is said to be able to kill a person by blowing its poisonous breath. One thing that is true about the Gila monster is that it is venomous, but it must bite to inject. Its bite is very strong, and they will bite a human if threatened, but only if threatened. They are naturally try to avoid large animals, which include humans. So just leave them alone, and you'll be friends with your neighbor, the Gila monster. Next, we have our Galapagos giant tortoise, and those are giant tortoises. Yes, there's a difference because we're going to see a turtle in a second. The Galapagos giant tortoise only lives on the Galapagos Islands. There's a total of 14 subspecies that live on the islands, but 2 have gone extinct, bringing their number to 12. That's basic math. They're most active in the early morning or the late afternoon, depending on the season. They have been hunted for their meat, and they can live without food or water for a few months. That is a trait. That trait was exploited by whalers, buccaneers, and fur dealers. They would haul them onto their ships alive so they could have fresh meat, which is pretty sad. They are hunted as a source of oil. Oh, the ice melted on their little ice treat there. Humans have introduced invasive species that will kill and eat tortoises and their eggs. Those species are rats, pigs, ants, feral dogs, cattle, horses, and goats. Farming has created unnatural barriers for the tortoises from fences protecting farmlands. And disease is also a risk to the tortoises by living close to farm animals. They are important because they disperse seeds over long distances, which in turn ensures the survival of some plant species. They help prevent their habitats to become overgrown with vegetation, and tortoises are natural terraformers. They create pathways, wallows, and nests, which other animals will use to their benefit. Some fun facts about the tortoises. This guy's sleeping here. They can live for more than 100 years. Their maximum weight is just under 900 pounds. The Galapagos Islands were named after these tortoises. It's not the other way around. Up to 200,000 tortoises have been lost due to hunting. And a tortoise named Lonesome George was the last known survivor of the Pinta tortoise species. He died in 2012, causing the species' total extinction. Imagine being the last of your species alive. The males are also bigger than the females. Pretty sure that guy's a male, that guy's a male, and the 2 females behind. So we're going to move on to a turtle. Not really a turtle, a terrapin. This is the diamondback terrapin, and they are aquatic turtles. Each individual is unique in color, and their patterned spots, blotches, and stripes. They're all unique. They are exceptional swimmers and live in salt marshes, estuaries, and tidal creeks along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts of the United States, which is where the zoo is based, the Atlantic coast of the United States. They are carnivores, but may also eat plant material. Snails, crabs, mussels, and clams are their top choices on their menu. Males are much smaller than females and can be around half of a foot smaller than the females. Females max out just under a foot, and the female characteristics are also bigger than males. Let's see if we can. There's a couple on here. See if we can find another one. Maybe one's in the water. I just see the one. If you see something that I miss, then let me know, point it out, and put it in the comment section of this video. Also, if you want to learn more about something or any really animal or an animal that is in this zoo, Conservation Kingdom, then let me know and I can help you know more. We're going to head over into the Insect Research Center. A lot of people don't like insects, obviously. It's not very busy in here. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to go over the insects because there's a lot in here. But we do have a little podium over here for every few months. There's a show, I guess you could call it. And it's where you can come and sit on the bleachers and learn about some insects. I do wanted to show you something real quickly about the insect house. I am going to change the time of day real quick so we can see it at night, because I think it's pretty cool at night in here. These glowing eyes. It is meant to be more of a nocturnal house. But obviously in the daytime we have some big windows in here. So there's some eyes over there. I think it's just pretty cool. So I wanted to show you that. Let's turn it back to daytime. So we don't, inside here, so we don't destroy our eyes when we head back out. So let's get out of here. We are almost done. Almost done. We are heading over to some pretty big animals. More kind of well known as well. And here's our first one. He is out. Yes, that is a rhino. And in fact, that is an Indian rhinoceros, also known as the greater one-horned rhino. As you can see, he has one horn on him. He is solitary. The Indian... Oh. Big animal, big poop. The Indian rhino is the largest species of rhino. And he's going to roll around it. Nice. They live in tropical and subtropical grasslands, savannas, and shrublands in parts of northern India. These rhinos have a single horn and thick skin that appears to look like armor covering them, as you can see on this guy right here. Oh, he's making some noises and yawning. They are solitary, but males and young adults may come together to graze. Their population was almost wiped out at the beginning of the 20th century. Thank you, zookeeper. Oh, he scared him. With only 200 individuals alive in the beginning of the 20th century. They were hunted for sport and as pests. Today, there is around 4,000 wild individuals, and they are the best examples of conservation actions to protect species. 200 to 4,000. That is impressive. Good work by humans. Hi. Rhinos are megafauna, and as herbivores, they maintain a balanced level of small and large vegetation growths. Rhinos digest a lot of seeds when they eat. When they poop, they disperse the seeds, aiding the generation of new forest vegetation. Some fun facts, hopefully before he totally goes inside. Their horns can grow up to 2 feet long. Piles of dung. That is an important fun fact. Why? Because rhino dung piles are important to the rhino and also the ecosystem. Rhinos will communicate using the scent from piles of dung left by them and other rhinos. He might go back inside. Their piles of dung are large enough. Oh, he's running. They're large enough to provide some tree species to grow in open areas through their dung. There is over 25 plant species that germinate in dung piles left by the rhinos. So we are going to go follow him inside. First, if you want to stop and have just a little nice area to just chill out before you go inside, you can. We are going to head into the India's Giants. And before we look over to the left, oh, here's the indoor area of our Indian rhino. Smaller than the habitats on our left side. Nice pool. And we're gonna switch over to the neighbor inhabitants, the Indian elephant. Indian elephants can grow up to 11 feet tall, weigh up to 10,000 pounds, which is 5 tons. They live in varied forest habitats in India. They are nomadic, wandering up to 125 miles a day. I bet you can't do that. They spend most of their time foraging for grass, tree bark, roots, leaves, and stems. They also are known to love crops like bananas, rice, and sugarcane. If these two decide to go outside, these are all females, then we'll follow them. In their habitat, if you come across a source of fresh water, there is likely an elephant close by. They do not venture too far from fresh water sources because they need to drink between 25 and 50 gallons of water per day. A lot more compared to us humans. Ugh, I was looking down and I did not see him do that, or her do that. I wish I saw that. And if you're wondering what these gray things are, those are doors. Obviously one is open. All three could be open just depending on if they should be or not. But we're gonna go take a look at their outside habitat. And one is, they get 2 pools because there's a lot of them. And one is in a pool. There's 4 of them. And yes, if you think this exhibit is small for them, they have all of that back area also, which is not seen by the public. So they have a pretty good spacious area to roam around. Yes, there's 4 females in here. And you could tell because they do not have tusks. The Indian elephant is endangered with 20 to 25,000 wild individuals. Habitat loss and fragmentation from the growing human population and their habitats due to encroachment and deforestation. With the loss of habitat, they are losing sources of food, causing them to look for alternative food sources, including crops, which is why they are known to eat sugarcane. By eating crops, they are viewed as pests. They must see humans as pests. She was excited to get in the water and play with this giant toy. Only the elephants can move that. I cannot move that. And that was a joke, by the way. I don't know if they actually see humans as pests, but they must in the wild because we see them as pests. And they are also, unfortunately, part of the illegal wildlife trade. There is a lot of media you can find, wow, of elephants being chained up and stuff. It's not, yeah, there's a lot of media, especially in circuses. Don't go to circuses with animals, unless they're like dogs, cats, because they can be trained. No wild animal circuses you should be attending. As a animal conservationist and environmental, and I'm a person that sees the environmental importance in the world, I do not recommend circuses. Environmental importance. Because they cover so much ground, they disperse seeds, allowing them to germinate in different parts of the forest. Why are all these animals important? Because of seeds. Because they eat seeds and they poop them. Humans can't do that at the scale of the natural world can do that. We cannot go out and plant seeds everywhere. That's why a lot of these animals are important. And because they do this, gosh, they are pooping like crazy. They eat a lot. Because animals do this and eat so much seeds and help disperse these seeds, I mean, it just keeps, well, one thing, keeps oxygen going. That's so we can breathe, and they can breathe, but it just helps the ecosystems regenerate. And if we are going to use sources from the environment, we need the animals to help us regenerate those resources. So another thing they do is they clear pathways. Take a good look at her. They clear pathways most other species in their habitats will use to navigate through the forest. Their pathways also allow light to reach the forest floor, helping new vegetation to grow. Where an elephant's I have made a saying. I should probably make a sign that says that somewhere. Where elephant around this habitat, she's sleeping. Where elephants walk, where an elephant walks, life will follow and grow. Some fun facts about the Indian elephant. They can drink 55 gallons in less than 5 minutes. Do not give any alcohol to these animals because we don't want to have 55 gallons gone like that. Just keep them away from breweries. They eat up to 330 pounds a day of leaves, hay, vegetation, so they poop a lot. Indian elephants are smaller than their African cousins, and they also have thinner skin and smaller ears. So if you're wondering why, I thought an elephant looked a little different, it's because they are small. These two species, the African, well actually I guess there's two species, well one species has a couple of subspecies. The Indian elephant here, and also the African elephant, but there's an African bush elephant and an African savanna elephant. Yeah. Okay, so elephants have over 150,000 muscles in their trunks, and they do not learn to control them right away. So you can look up, please look up a video of a baby elephant playing with its trunk, because they spin it around because they can't control it yet. They have to learn how to control all those 150 muscles in their trunks. And it is hilarious. It's like a helicopter. So we're going to move on from these India's giants and pretty much come to the end of the zoo. First, we're going to walk through our conservation walk. We have just some cool little statues from different parts of the world surrounding our conservation walk here. I want to plan to put some like butterflies in here. Some like blue morphos or something like that, because they are endangered. Yes, there's butterflies in the game, but that is something that in the future I don't have here yet. And as we come back to the beginning of the zoo, obviously the bathroom, there's the bathroom here, little seating area. But we are back at the beginning. And before you leave, if you want to stop at the Cosmic Cow milkshakes or Pip Shot juice, get some lemonade and stuff like that, go ahead. But that is the end of our little tour. Phase 1 of the zoo. Phase 2, the next phases will be quicker, and I will hope to do this much sooner than I was planning. I think the last time I did a post about... Let me go do an overlook here. I posted about the zoo, I think in July or something. That was the last time I did. Phase 2 is finally going to be starting. Phase 1 is complete. This is what we are so far. Yeah, pretty good size, but we have all this area. I'm not going to take up all this area. That would be insane. But, I mean, it took an hour for us to get through that, so imagine how long it would take us to fill up this whole area. So, thank you. Hopefully you learned something. I really hope you do, because that's the point of me making this little, I guess, what series you could call it. I want to help spread awareness. I'm trying to find some animals that we haven't seen yet. Spread awareness for some environmental issues and animal conservation here at Animal Kingdom. And I thought there's not a very good way to do that is through a video game, Planet Zoo, which is a popular game, and I think it connects to a lot of people that are around my age. So yeah, I think it's just fun for me. I think it's fun for me. I like these kind of things, and it brings a few of my interests and creativity to the world, really. And by the way, this habitat is not seen by the public. This is a habitat where bears, mainly giant panda, will be. This is connected to the giant panda habitat. Just an off exhibit, really. Giant pandas are pretty shy and need a lot of alone time, so that's why that's connected there. Also, female and the cub will, there's the female, still haven't seen the male. Oh my god, the cub grew up. The cub grew up. That's a big deal. We're gonna have to move the cub to that off habitat. And before they start fighting, they leave their mother at around 2.5 years old. So, I think it's probably, I gotta check the age. Let's find the age real quick. She's 6.5. Oh. Alright, well it's not, okay, I'm clicking the tree on accident. So I think, if he's around 2.5, then I'll let the panda, or the brown bear, move it. And the point of the Himalayan brown bear breeding program here at the zoo is to reintroduce them into the wild. So pretty soon we'll have our first reintroduced animal, which is going to be cool. That's a good way to end the video. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully this gets you inspired a little bit to learn more, or to just gain an interest in animal conservation or environment in some way. I really hope it does. Thank you for watching. If you watched this whole thing, thank you so much, because I like doing this. I'm going to do more of this once I finish the next phases. There's 12 of them, so that's phase 1. And the phase 1 will not take will not be about this amount of things. That's phase one is really just to get the zoo going and to have a good population, good catalog of species here. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. You are awesome. You are unique. And I'll see you later.